Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be showing you how to crochet a soap saver or a soap pouch, soap saver pouch, whatever you want to call it. I got a request to do this on my zero waste dish scrubby video, and I had actually intended on making one of these because I myself use bars of soap for body wash, and they can be kind of difficult to use. They're very slippery, and a lot of times you drop them, and also when you place them in your shower, sometimes they just like stick to your shower like glue and you really can't get them off. So by storing your soap in a soap saver, you can then just use that to wash your body, kind of like a loofah type of thing. So in order to make this project, you may want to check out a how to crochet for absolute beginners. So if you do enjoy crochet videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any further crochet project requests, just let me know in the comments below, because I love creating crochet tutorials for projects that you want to see. And if you do make this project, be sure to tag me on Instagram at @thislittlefarmhouse. I'd love to see your projects. So without further ado, if you would like to learn how to make a crochet soap saver, then just keep on watching. So for this crochet project, you're going to need some cotton yarn. This is cotton yarn typically used for macrame projects, so I would suggest something this thickness or a little bit thinner than this. You're going to use a crochet hook. I'm using the largest one I have, which is a K hook, because this is a pretty thicker yarn. But if your yarn is thinner, you can use a little bit of a smaller crochet hook. This really isn't super specific, so I kind of encourage you guys to use what you have available. And then you're going to need your bar of soap. Now, I am going to be making mine to the size of my specific bar of soap. So because everyone's soap might be slightly different, you might have to make your soap saver a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. But I'm going to kind of work through this project with you so you can figure out how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is make a slip knot. And if you guys don't know how to make a slip knot, I will again guide you to the video I did in the intro, and that is my how to crochet for absolute beginners. We're going to put that on to our crochet hook. So the first thing we're going to do is crochet to match the bottom of our soap. So I'm going to crochet a chain that would fit all the way across my soap, maybe one or two extra, so about this length. And you're just going to do the same thing to your size of soap. So I am going to just start crocheting a chain. Again, if you want to know how to do all of these basics, check out that video linked in the cards. And I'm not going to give you a specific amount because, like I said, it's going to have to match your specific bar of soap. You pull my soap over. That's about good. That's kind of the length that I'm looking for. Since this bar of soap has been used a couple times, I am going to do just like one extra because the original soap is a little bit bigger than this. So for me, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 chains. For you, it might be similar or slightly different. So we have our chain, so now I'm just going to crochet back into it, one row of single crochet. Okay, we're at the last one. That's our last single crochet. So here we have our project. We have our first row, which was our chain of 11, and then a row of single crochet on top. So then I'm going to take my work and continue working around on the opposite side that I just single crocheted on. So we want a row of single crochet on both sides of our original chain. So in order to do that, I am going to crochet 1 and then move in to this first kind of slot where our knot was, and do a single crochet in that spot. So then I'm going to continue on and do a single crochet on the opposite side. And it might be a little bit difficult to tell where you're supposed to insert your crochet hook, but it's right where these two cross sections meet, and then there's a loop. And you can kind of see on the opposite side where the crochet hook was inserted as well, to kind of help you know where to crochet, because you don't normally crochet on this side. And this piece is basically just going to be a base. So we're making like a little oval shaped base for us to work up from. In order to close, I have my last space right here, so I'm going to insert 1 single crochet into that space, and then I'm kind of at the end. It's where I began on one side and I'm at the end of my other side. So just find your first crochet, which is right here, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, and then close with a slip knot. So there we have our base, and then we're going to continue to work off of that and go up. So you're just going to want to measure your soap and see if that's a big enough base. So I think that that is plenty big enough for my soap. I could go around once more on each side, but the edges are gonna kind of make up the rest of this. So now that we have our base finished, we have to work on creating these sides. So we're gonna have 2 sides coming up from this base. So the way we're gonna do that is we've just closed off right here. So we're going to crochet 1 chain, and then we're just going to go into this next crochet right here, continuing around in a circle. So instead of doing a single crochet, which is what we just did on both sides of our chain, we are going to do a double crochet. The reason for this is because it is going to allow more space between each stitch, so that, you know, like you can easily get some water and soap coming out of your bar of soap. But it's also going to make this project go quicker. You're going to be able to make these up in a matter of 20 minutes. So the double crochet is the way to go for this. So in order to do that, you are just going to yarn over and then insert your crochet hook, yarn over again, yarn over once more, and then you're going to pull through these first 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through the second loops. So that is a double crochet, and as you can see, it's a lot thicker than just a single crochet. So in my opinion, if you're an absolute beginner, I would mark where you started with a safety pin or a stitch marker. I always have things like that linked down below, stitch markers, all the kind of supplies that you would need for crochet. So it just helps, because if you don't know what to look for when you go all the way around and you need to join, it just makes it that much easier. So again, going to double crochet into the next loop, and you are going to just continue doing this all the way around until you reach the desired size to fit your bar of soap. So I'm starting to get to the circular area here at the end, and this might be a little complicated, but you're going to just look at it like you would any other row of crochet. So you can see I have a crochet here, I've got another one here, I've got one more right here, and then one right here and one right here. So I'm going to go into all of those just like I would if I was crocheting in a straight line. So I'm going to move on to this next one, which starts to go around the edge. And then we're kind of at the beginning again where we are going straight across. So I'm going to finish going straight across, and then I will catch back up with you when I am about to close. So I have gone all the way around and I am at my first double crochet again, and the way I can tell is that I am right next to where I inserted that double crochet. So I've crocheted all the way around next to it. So in order to connect the two, I'm going to yarn over. I am going to insert my crochet hook right here, so it's the next V that I would crochet into. I'm going to yarn over, and instead of yarning over again, I'm just going to pull through both loops. So it's basically like a slip knot, but for double crochet. So as you can see, it's starting to take shape. So you are just going to continue doing that same thing. You are going to double crochet all the way around. After closing, you are going to crochet one and then work into this next one. So just make sure you're doing that at the end. And I will catch back up with you after I have double crocheted to the length of my soap. So I'm gonna stop once I can fully wrap my soap up to the top of the soap, and then I'll show you how to close it off. So as you can see, I have just gone around enough times so that the soap fits inside the pouch. So now we're going to work on the closure, and you could just leave it like this if you wanted to just finish it off, pull the ends through and kind of weave them in, and you don't want to be able to close it, because this would work just as good. But I am going to add space for a little drawstring closure. So in order to do that, I'm going to take my soap out. I am going to do a single crochet all the way around instead of a double crochet, just so it looks a little bit visually different. So all in the same spots that I've been crocheting, just doing a single crochet. And just make sure not to pull everything too tight. You want to keep it nice and loose, because you want to be able to fit your soap in, and I find that single crochet tends to be a little bit tighter. So I've single crocheted all the way around, and I am just going to do a slip knot. And then I am going to go around once more with a single crochet. So we're doing 2 rows of single crochet. Then I am back at the beginning again. So I am going to close with a slip knot. So right now I kind of like the size. I've got a little bit of a lip up here. So I am going to end it there, cut a piece to kind of fit, and just measure how you want your drawstring. And then you could use a tapestry needle for this, but personally I think it's easy enough if you chose a big enough yarn to just do this by hand. So I am just weaving it in here in between my double crochet. The nice thing about double crochet is that it leaves pretty decent sized gaps. So as you can see, I just take my finger, open up the gaps, and go down. And you can do this kind of at whatever point you want. I just weave it in and out of those gaps. And again, if your yarn isn't as large as mine and this isn't as easy to do by hand, just use a tapestry needle. So then what I'm gonna do is I have both my drawstring ends. I am just gonna tie a knot on each end. Maybe 2 knots. Just so that I can pull my drawstring closed. So I'm just going to weave this end in. And I don't suggest keeping this stored in your shower just because it will kind of start to disintegrate the soap in the steam. So I would either have somewhere where you can hang this to kind of dry out after each shower, maybe like on your towel bar or something, or just keep it like on a plate on your sink or something. Just don't keep it stored in the shower because the cotton yarn kind of will eat away at the soap if you just kind of leave it in the shower. So I think that is good. Just gonna trim that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Again, I wanted to make something that was going to be simple enough for beginners to make. You obviously could get more advanced with this. You could close it off more advanced with some advanced stitches. You can do some more advanced stitches on the body of it, but overall, I think that this is a very beginner-friendly project, and if you make a few mistakes anywhere, you're really not going to be able to tell, and it's just something you use in the shower, so it's more functionality than beauty, in my opinion, but makes using bar soap a lot easier, and if you have a lot of little pieces of soap, you can also put them in here. It's a great way to kind of utilize soap up to its last life. So that is going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy this tutorial, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my videos. And again, leave any comments for further crochet requests. So thank you for the person who commented and requested that I make one of these. I also want to point out that if you want to make this out of a different material to get more of an exfoliating scrub, you can use the hemp that I made my zero waste dish scrubbies out of, which I will leave linked in the cards, and it'll be more of like an exfoliating bar of soap. So the cotton is just kind of good for everyday use, but if you want an exfoliating pouch, you can make 2 and then kind of switch back and forth between whichever one you want to use. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when I post a new video, and I will see you guys in my next one.